Hello and welcome to video number 16 in this series concerning the construction of a Lineside Hut Bowsider coach. The Bowsider coaches have a balcony at each end, and what you see on the screen now are the components provided with the kit to make one of these balconies, and that's what we're going to concentrate on just now. So let's get started. So using some wood glue that's certified for use outdoors, what we're going to do is just glue these two pieces together. So we'll get a bit of the glue and I'll just crack on with that really quick and let that dry. A couple of clips. We'll leave that for an hour just to dry off. Okay, so this first piece is dry, and it's now time to actually attach the cross sections that go into this balcony floor. But what I first want to do, I want to show you something. I'll just bring it up close. So if I put one of these pieces into its slot, you'll see, hopefully you can see, that it doesn't actually fit flush because the tab is too long. This bit here is actually too long, so what I'm actually going to have to do is file off a little bit of each tab. So to do that, I'll just be using the file. So I'll be doing that with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 tabs. Just you know, with a needle file, just getting the, just gently filing it down until it's flush. So I'll just do this one just to show you, and then I'll get on with the rest off camera. So I hope you can see that now. It's better, it's flush. We'll start putting the glue onto the other components now. While looking at the component, this is going to be the top and this is the underneath. With these steps that go on here, you have to make sure that the etching is on top. Oh. That's the one half. And now comes the tricky bit in putting them into the second half. So I'm actually going to do is put the glue in the holes here. Okay, now comes the interesting bit, lining all this up. So let's have a go. So it's all in now, and I'm going to put it against this straight edge. See if this is straight. Yeah. So I'm just leaving it like that, putting this another piece of wood against it, and then put the tank against it just to hold the pressure on. And we'll leave that now for an hour to dry. Okay, the glue's dried, it's all made up. So this is what we've got for the basic frame of one end of the balcony. I've actually made both of them now. This frame from the balcony that actually fits onto the sole bars. So we'll take a look at the sole bars now. So here we have the two sole bars then. I just want to show you some markings that I've made out both on the sole bar and on the underneath of the coach. Let's start with the coach. What I've actually made is a center line on both axes, and there's also a marking, a line 10 centimeters away from the center, and that line marks where the first cross member for the sole bars is actually mounted. These center lines will come in handy later when we talk about the fixing points for the bogies and also for the extra weight that I like to put into my coaches. Let's have a look at the sole bars. I've already marked out, got some lines on them there. I hope you can see. So what we have on each sole bar is a center line. So either side of the center line, 5 centimeters on either side, and in the middle of the sole bar there's also a mark, and that is where the supports for the brace bar will come. Now, something else that's not in the instructions, but what I've implemented, I've got a piece here that I'm actually going to cut out of the sole bar. And why is that? This is because I run my locomotives and rolling stock at 45mm gauge, and because I go to some layouts where the curves can be quite sharp, to be on the safe side, what I'm going to be doing is cutting out a small section that just gives the bogies that little bit more room to maneuver. But if you're actually building to 32mm gauge, this particular part you may not have to do. So let's crack on with the sole bars. I'm going to be cutting out these sections and getting the whole thing ready to be mounted onto the floor. So we're going to start on the cutouts for the 45mm bogies. A disclaimer up front, I'm not a professional woodworker or anything, so I've just set up my Dremel. Just going to start this by just drilling some holes around the outside, and then I'll take away the excess wood afterwards. So let's crack on. So we'll just start to chip this out now. Okay, so now we've got the most of the bit off with the chisel. Just going to try and tidy this up a bit with the Dremel and see what we can come up with. So I think that'll do. I'll tidy these edges up with a file. So I'll do all the rest and come back to you when all these cuts are done. Okay, so the sole bars are done now. I'm finished preparing them. Also drilled the holes for the uprights for the bracing bars. These are the cross members. Cross piece has to fit up against that line according to the instructions, something like that. And what they want you to do in the instructions is line up the sole bars. So you've got one like that. Then the other side will line the other side up. And then as a check, they just want you to just check to see if that's the right position, just by putting the balcony pieces in. I know they're upside down, but it's all about the space, isn't it? So what I'm going to do, that's about how it is. And I'm actually going to use wood line to put in the sole bars and these center cross pieces. The end cross pieces, they'll come a bit later, but we'll crack on with that and get these pieces done. Probably need to move these around a little bit before they're in the right place. So we'll use the wood glue. Right, and now the control, if you like. One end and then the other. Okay, that's all they've done for that. It's all lined up. There, there, there and there. So what I'll do is put some weight on now. And get some weight on the end. Okay, we'll let that dry and then we'll get back to you once all that's dry. So it's the next day now, taking the weights off and it's all dry. Just turn it up the other way and just move it to the end, and we'll just check that the balcony fits on again. Yeah, there it goes. Just check this, just check the fitting of this. So there. Okay, and the same with the other end. So what I'm going to do off camera, I'll just glue the top section on, obviously with the horizontal part of the etching towards the outside. And then that'll be it for this video. In part 2, we'll finish off the balcony, get it all painted up, and then continue with the build. So hopefully I'll see you then. Bye bye.